Uganda is a landlocked country in East Africa, surrounded by Kenya, Tanzania, South Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Rwanda. At Jinja, the source of the River Nile flows out of Lake Victoria. With a population of about 38 million, Uganda is ethnically diverse with both Bantu and Nilotic peoples. 3.7 million children under the age of 5 live in poverty. These children are deprived of 2 or more of the basic child rights: healthcare, nutrition, education, water, sanitation, shelter, and information. 7.2% of Uganda's population, about 1.4 million people, is living with AIDS, including 190,000 children. Of a population of about 38 million, just over 48% are younger than 14 years of age. 21% are between the ages of 15 and 24 years. Dorothy Mitala is chair of the Ugandan Board of Directors for the CANHAVE Children's Program.
Currently, we have 80 children, 2 at university level, 5 at vocational school at CANHAVE Training Center, and then 80 in secondary and primary school. Our target is the poorest of the poor children. You see, from housing, clothing, feeding, and well-being, and they need motherly touch. So that's a real challenge as children's program, and since we are mothers, we have to take on that role. We had to pick focal persons in the communities who live with those kids, who know them much, much better than we do. So we have to link with the focal persons, and the focal persons link with the children, and then the families where they come from, where we can get them, so that we can really know, they really have to know they are the right target children we have to deal with. I would like to thank CANHAVE Canada for the great, I call it great support, because if they were not giving this support, these kids would not be anywhere.
This is Joseph Kabali, coordinator of the children's program, and Florence Nabude, the focal person with 6 CANHAVE supported children at Bright Grammar School. The headmaster, Isaac Lumula, is on the left. Joan, Lydia, Ashula, Akilam, Rachel, and Davis are very good students. Normally, the children in primary classes stay with members of their extended families and attend school close to their homes. Since their parents died, Ashula and Akilam have lived with their grandmother in a compound close to a beer brewer. However, their grandmother became very ill and died last year. Akilam is now boarding at Bright Grammar School, and Ashula is staying with her great aunt. Florence Nabude, the focal person, spends time with Ashula to mitigate the additional challenges these children have already suffered with the loss of their parents. Many children do not have breakfast before they walk to school. CANHAVE pays for their school lunch, which is porridge. This headmistress, Nalongo Chingi, founded a school specially for twins because she herself had twins. CANHAVE has 6 children at twins nursery and primary school, including 2 sisters, Agnes and Margaret. Like so many Ugandan children, these girls have been traumatized by the death of their parents, who died within a week of each other. Their grandmother died not long after their parents. The headmistress needs $3,500 to complete the sanitation, that's water and latrines, for twins nursery and primary school. Here is a group of 8 CANHAVE students at St. Joseph's Catholic Primary School, Busukuma, with Joseph Kabali, coordinator, seated in the back row, standing, between 2 teachers, Amelie Baino in glasses and Jane Francis Chiza, focal person. Jane Francis regularly visits the children in Busukuma area. She attended an activity day after St. Joseph's where the children performed and talked about CANHAVE. Jane Francis is very proud of what CANHAVE can do to change the lot of these children for the better. CANHAVE has partnered with St. Elizabeth Girls Secondary School in Mityana. This school was founded by the Ugandan Member of Parliament Sylvia Namabide Sinabulia. It serves young women with good grades who would not have the means to attend secondary school. 5 CANHAVE students board at St. Elizabeth Secondary School during the academic year. They will stay for 4 years, and if they do well, they will be able to take 2 extra years to prepare for university. Our CANHAVE girls, Immaculate, Esther, Dora, Rose, and Maria, are given the education, board, and uniform for a special prize. They are very happy at St. Elizabeth's Secondary School. In 2003, Peter Kafero, one of the original 5 children, left school and was not able to find work because the school system in Uganda is academic. He asked for further help in learning trade. Fortunately, in 2004, the Board of Trustees in Uganda received the gift of a parcel of land from Brother Vincent, a member of the Order of Brothers of Christian Instruction. The parcel was 7 acres in all, close to Lake Victoria, just off the Entebbe-Kampala Highway at Kisubi. The buildings for a vocational school on 2 acres started slowly with much volunteer oversight and care. In 2008, when classes began, one classroom was converted to a temporary girls' dormitory. From the outset, the vocational school has been an alternative to secondary school for CANHAVE youngsters. Here, 3 of our young women are learning and practicing hairdressing. The school is open to fee-paying students as well and is becoming operationally self-sustaining. One source of income has been the hosting of short-term courses in Luganda and also examinations for the industrial training certificates. The original fish ponds and kitchens are still part of the campus. In 2011, a capital campaign for a girls' dormitory was initiated by Great Hale. Through the generosity of wonderful supporters, Elizabeth Residence was opened officially in April 2013. So that the young women could have a safe and comfortable home during their studies. This building was erected according to the architectural plans and was supervised as a professional construction project. The large common room gives the girls an opportunity to watch TV and share time together in community. His Eminence, Emmanuel Cardinal Wamala, blessed the new residents in the presence of Janet Castle, CANHAVE President, and her sister Caroline Marco, the students, staff, parents, and invited officials. The vocational school is registered with the Directorate of Industrial Training in the Ministry of Education and has had great success in graduating students from both 2-year programs and short-term courses in Luganda, the language of the area. The graduates have been successful in finding employment. Millie Bino and a representative of the Directorate of Industrial Training with the Ministry of Education were at hand to present the 2014 graduates with their certificates. Naturally, there was a great deal of excitement. Each of CANHAVE's 2 programs has a board of directors and an administrator. The board of directors of the vocational school are from left to right: Peter Kimera, Kevin Kalanzi, Chair; Cosme Kabazi, a graduate of St. Mary's University in Halifax; and Diana Santomero. Here are some of the directors of the children's program with Millie Bino of Ottawa. From left we see Reese Chigozi, Lugemwa, Deo Kasumba, Millie Bino, Teo Kasaja, and Joseph Kabali. The Children's Board takes into consideration the needs of each child. This is Patience, who lived with her grandma. She began Primary 1 at 6 in a rural school without walls, floors, proper classrooms, but she did well. She now boards in Primary 4 and is planning to become a doctor. Over the years, CANHAVE has assisted many children beyond the present total of 100 now in our care. There are 10 day schools and boarding schools, operated privately by a faith group or by the government. Many of our CANHAVE students have gone on to the vocational school or to post-secondary institutions. One such student is Prosi Nakabule. She graduated in business administration in 2014. While studying at university, Prosi volunteered to help vocational students with life skills, extracurricular activities, and entrepreneurship. Kathy Nabazi attended Prosi's graduation. Kathy helped with the administration of the vocational school before and during her time as a student at the university. Kathy now works full-time in Entebbe since receiving a Bachelor of Business Administration degree. In 2015, Caroline Nakayenga, co-founder of CANHAVE, was chosen as an amazing person by CTV Ottawa.
What she has done for AIDS orphans, especially for AIDS orphans, young women, her inspiration to keep us going.
CANHAVE is a partnership of Canadians and Ugandans, which works through a formal 3-year memorandum of agreement. In 2008, the Reverend Dr. Floyd McPhee, former pastor of Parkwood and co-founder of CANHAVE Children's Center, gained first-hand experience when he visited Uganda. Janet Castle has visited Uganda twice as president. As a former teacher and principal, she has spoken with many of the CANHAVE children. In consultation with the board of the children's program, emphasis is placed on the development of literacy, numeracy, and skills development among young AIDS-affected orphans. She has profiled some of these children in the Clarion, CANHAVE's biannual newsletter. Anne McLean is talking with Great Hill. She has been a generous, long-standing supporter and creative fundraiser for CANHAVE through her interests in quilts. She and her husband David and son Rob joined a 2008 CANHAVE study group in Uganda. For Jen Sheridan, seeing was believing. She too visited Uganda in 2008 and has continued to stay in contact with some of the CANHAVE students. Jan is a CANHAVE ambassador who finds opportunities to tell the story of CANHAVE and raise money for the children's fees. She also makes dolls and sells cards illustrated by Joseph Mawanda, the artist. Gwyneth Evans taught for many years in Uganda after independence and has contributed her deep interest in the country through CANHAVE. Guests at the gala dinner enjoying the entertainment. CANHAVE is grateful for our many donors and volunteers too numerous to name. We hope that a new generation will address the continuing needs of vulnerable children. These children, like others, are the world's future. As Nelson Mandela has pronounced, education is one of the most powerful weapons to change the world. You may be asking yourself, what is it that I can do? We invite you to join us as a volunteer, as a fundraiser, or a child sponsor. If you feel you have a gift of talent, time, or generosity, please visit us at canhave.org or see one of our members immediately after this screening. To each and every one of you, we say Webale. In English, thank you. Your support in Uganda and in Canada is helping change the world.